Hello Drone Racers, I'm Mark and today on Drone Racer 101 we're going to take a look at the Mirarobot M600 VTOL. It's a plane. No, it's a drone. No, it's a plane. No, it's a drone. No, it's a plane. Drone. Yeah, it's kind of both. It's VTOL, meaning you take off and you control it just like a quadcopter, and then you flip a switch and it flies like a plane. Or I guess more specifically a wing. But it does a really good job at both, as long as there's no wind. Now it's called a VTOL. I might end up calling it the VTOL, even though I like it a lot. Let's do things a little different, and here, take a look at my first real flight with it.
So, pushing away arms. Up. Okay, seems a little better. There, it's just hovering, and it goes the way I want it to, mostly. Hit yawls. That's cool. It's more susceptible to wind movement than most drones are. But it's a wing, and it hovers, and then what it'll let us do is that. Oh, that's cool. And it's a small wing, so I can fly it in my backyard without too much problem. There are golfers over there though, so I don't want to bother them. Flies pretty well. It's pretty windy today. Has problems turning into the wind. Oh, I'm on mode 1, so it's on auto level. I forgot. That's why it won't turn very hard. If I turn, there we go. Now if I turn it to mode 2, now it'll turn the way I want it to. Ooh, maybe. Need more throttle in the wind that way though. Pretty quick. Oh, it's actually pretty maneuverable. Come down. I don't want to get up that high. That's too high. Switch it back. Turn it into the wind. See if it'll make it. There we go. So I'm going to switch it back to mode 1 now. And we'll hover it back to me. Maybe. Turn it so it's sideways into the wind. It's not coming down. That is 0 throttle. There we go. There it's coming down. Come on. See if I can not lose it. That's my goal. Here, bring it right back to me. It's coming. Whoa, the wind just picked up. Transition back to flight mode. Oh, there we go. Just a little bit of throttle. Get it down closer to me. Stay in my line of sight. Alright, mode 3, mode 2. Alright, here we go. Where is it? Little bit of throttle. Come on, baby. Get back here. Get back here. There we go. There we go. Switched it back. Uh-oh. Ah, I broke something. No, that's just the canopy. Where'd it go?
So yeah, it crashed, but it flew again. I flew it again. I've got another flight at the end if you want to see that, where I'm trying to zoom in on it. But that was the first flight that I took on it, and it's still good to go. So it's pretty nice. There are a pair of servos on the bottom that control the ailerons, and those are already in place and ready to go. It comes with a battery, so I'm gonna show you, there are a couple different versions here. I have the ready to fly version. It comes with the radio that I'll show you how this works in just a little bit because it's weird. It's not the way you would expect it to be. It comes with a battery, just a 2S 800 milliamp hour battery, so it'll be easy to add one, use the JST connection. Comes with a simple charger, but it'll charge your 2S or 3S batteries there if you need to. It also comes with a really good manual that shows you how to set up and use the RTF or the bind and fly model. This comes as an RTF. You can also get a bind and fly. There's a FlySky and a FrSky versions, I think. Oh, there is also DSM2. So it sets things up and has it all ready to go. It shows you how to bind it and then how to set up the switches if you need to. Here I've got the RTF, and you know what? It works fine. The radio is not bad. I didn't have any problem with that. I'm going to show you there's also an almost ready to fly. Instead of a bind and fly, it's an ARF. And let me show you what comes in this one in case you're interested and you see it, because it's the cheapest option. You get the wing itself. You don't get as many stickers on it, and you get a completely empty canopy. And I think this was like 60 bucks. It doesn't come with motors. It doesn't come with any electronics. It doesn't come with servos. It comes with nothing. I'm gonna call this a replacement body. That's what this is. This is not almost ready to fly. This is a empty wing shell. So don't buy this if you want to go out and fly. You will be sorely disappointed because you will have to spend way more than the bind and fly to get this working. And I don't even know if you'll be able to get it working. I don't know if you can get a flight controller that'll be able to handle this procedure. Just get the bind and fly or the ready to fly. If you do break it, this might be an acceptable replacement for a new shell to move everything over to, but do not buy the almost ready to fly. It should be called the not even close to ready to fly. So with the ready to fly, you will want all of your reverses in the neutral position just in case they got moved. They should all be down. The arm switch is weird. This is what took me the longest. Normally, for most people, at least for me, that is disarmed and then you pull to arm it. This is the opposite way. So you will set it and you will have it pulled. That is disarmed. You push it to arm. So just so you know, that's backwards. Then we have the flight modes. We have 0, 1, and 2. In the video, you'll hear me call it mode 3 a lot, and I keep thinking this is like mode 3, I mean mode 2. So mode 0 is drone mode, where it will fly basically the exact same way as a drone. It changes all the controls. So if you are an acrobatic pilot and you're used to be able to fly nose up, these controls will be all wrong. It flies just like a drone in mode 0. And then I was very pleasantly surprised when you flip it to mode 1, it actually accelerates and then automatically transitions. And it does a great job at that. It does a really good job. I was really impressed with that. It will stay level automatically for you in that mode. And if you flip it to mode 2, then you have full control for the most part. It still has a little bit of correction just to help, but not enough that it felt like it was in the way. I had full aerobatic movement as far as I was concerned. Now, what it doesn't do is handle the wind. It's absolutely terrible at handling the wind. It's just too light. This thing doesn't weigh anything. I'm not gonna weigh it, but it doesn't weigh anything. The other thing it doesn't do is land. Its vertical takeoff is great. Its vertical landing is terrible. At 0 throttle, you can see in a couple of these videos, the first one and the one at the end, it doesn't go down. The props are still spinning too fast. Now, if there was no wind, it would probably do a better job. But in my experience, you probably need to plan on landing it as a plane, and it's tough to control that precisely because it's so light. If you brought it in really low and then flipped it over, you could probably get it down, but it accelerated more than I'd like it to when it transitioned from wing mode to drone mode. It accelerated up quite a bit. So you'd have to bring it in pretty low, but I've crashed it 2 or 3 times really hard and it's just fine. I've been really impressed. I had to bend the prop back just a little bit, but it's been fine. The other thing you can see, it's FPV ready, and I was really excited to try this, and it doesn't come with it, and I can't find it anywhere. I don't think it's available yet. What it does here is really cool. It adds a camera on the nose with an extra servo. It will plug right into the flight controller here, I think on this port. This is another servo port. And then when you're hovering in drone mode, the camera is pointing this way, just like the nose of your drone. So you can fly it around like a drone in first person view. And then what happens is when you flip the switch, it automatically brings the camera up so it's pointing forward for wing flight mode. That would be really cool. I'm hoping this becomes available, and if you know where it's available, post down in the comments down below for me. I really want to try it this way because I enjoyed flying this. The biggest problem I have flying where I am with wings is they're too big, they take up too much space. Launching them is a little hairy by myself because I'm almost always flying by myself. And with this, I don't have that problem. I can take off right on my driveway like I do a drone, fly around, especially if FPV was available, that would be really sweet. And then I can bring it back down and not have a problem. I could fly this. And even though it got a little hairy, it was flying over other people's property. If this crashed into something, drones can break things. Drones can break windows and cars and damage things. I don't think you're going to possibly hurt anyone or break anything with this. I think if this was flying at full speed into you, it's so light, I don't think you can possibly hurt anything. So if I landed on somebody's roof, if I crashed into their house and hit their window, I try really, really hard to avoid that with drones and everything else I fly. I try that with this too. I mean, I don't want to, but if I did, I'm not gonna break your house window with this. It's just not possible. So I'll do a real quick setup here just to show you what it does. So if you get one of these and you go to try and use it the first time, it's a little confusing. Plug in the battery, it'll beep and the servos will beep just like normal and make the motors beep. And then it will wait until it's level. So we'll leave it there. Oh, so there the servos set up. This light will keep beeping, meaning it is not ready yet. And then the receiver light is beeping because I haven't turned on the radio yet. So now, oh, and there we go. So there's one danger with it. I turned the radio on and I had it armed, and it was armed and ready to go. So make sure you are away from this. So here's the arm switch. Here's pulled back. It's disarmed. See, my light has turned green, meaning it's ready to go. And there we go. Now we can flip this on and the motors will start spinning. So it's kind of like an air mode you have to be prepared for. Oh, so there, also the flight controller, there it's green. If it switches to blue, that means you're in wing mode. And then if it's red, you're in full control wing mode. So you can tell which mode you're in on the switch just by control there. But with that, with the props not spinning, it won't do anything with it not armed. And the way the controls work are really clever. So roll here is going to be handled by the motors. So if you roll to the right, it's going to turn up this motor just a little bit, and then it will just tilt the whole drone this direction and it'll go. So for pitch, what it does is actually pushes the air past the ailerons. So when I push this, it moves the ailerons. So it's very backwards of what you'd think sitting here on the table. If I pull back, if I want to move it back towards me, I pull my stick backwards and the ailerons move this direction, which means it will lean the bottom of the drone this way. So it'll kind of push on a pivot and it'll push it that way, and then the air will continue to move it this way, which sitting here thinking about it, it seemed like it should be the other way around because it would push the air this direction. But that causes the whole thing to tilt and fly this way. So it's actually really clever. It's a really neat design. It's a lot of fun to fly. It's one I could just see grabbing and taking out and enjoying in my backyard, especially if we get the FPV. That would be really cool. But I actually really, really like this. I wish it would land better. I'm hoping they come out with some kind of update for it to be able to plug in a computer and update the firmware so it lands better. That's the only real gripe I have. It's one of these things that I would say it's not the best at anything, but it's just enjoyable. And sometimes I like to just go out and fly and relax. It doesn't have to be on a razor's edge. I just want to go out and fly a wing, poke it around, fly around and bring it in, but I can do this easier by taking off in my backyard. I will say this is not a beginner's wing, probably, maybe, I don't know. It doesn't handle the wind. If you are a beginner to flying wings and there's even a little bit of wind, don't try it. I've been flying planes and wings for many, many years, and I'm not a great pilot, but I'm used to having badly done planes and wings. So I'm used to having manual control and having to fight it and make it do exactly what I want. If you want to take one out that'll just fly and stay level and be easy, this is not the one. On mode 1 it is, if there's no wind. Then it'll stay level and be really easy to fly, but just no wind at all. So here you can see if I switch it to flight mode 1, the pitch, which are now the elevator, operates the same way. But the roll no longer controls the motors, it controls the ailerons. See that? And then it switches it so the yaw will control the motors. So to yaw, now it will increase the speed of the appropriate motor and it will yaw. Except it's no longer yaw, now it's rudder, even though there's no rudder. If you live in an environment that's windy all the time, you shouldn't get this. But if you have calm days that you can fly and you want to try a wing, it's fun. But if you found this useful, leave a like and a comment down below. Please link me the FPV kit because I really want to fly this with the FPV kit and I don't want to have to engineer my own. We probably could. Maybe somebody has. If somebody's made one for this, let me know. So until next time, remember, here's that extra footage that I talked about, which my patrons got to see like a week ago.
All I've done so far is turn it on. Arm it. There we go, that activated it. We are in mode 0. There we go. Ah, there it's centered. Yaw. Huh. So we are in mode 0 here. Oh. You flip back for armed. That's weird. Okay, that's freaky. That's pretty cool, and it is really susceptible to the wind. Holy cow. All right, let's land it. Woo! So, with it facing right into the wind is just pushing it right toward me. Let's try and go back over here again. Settled, everything all calibrated. Turn on the props. So it's even windier now, but nobody ever said I was smart, so we're gonna try again. It's just so windy. So we're gonna see what it does here up close. Takes off and then pulls itself up. And then it levels. And there it flies. Come on. So in auto level mode, it's pretty easy. Oh, there we go. To keep it from getting out of control. But it's really windy up there, up that high. So there's just barely any stick. Let it curve to the right. We're gonna switch to mode 2. I keep calling it 3, but there's 3 positions at 0, 1, and 2, I think. A little more throttle, so it's got a little more control. Come on, where are you going? Get over here. There we go. Yeah, it's really windy up there. Okay, bring it around. Bring it down for a lower pass to try and land it. Nope. Get over here. Get down. There we go. Switch to mode 2. And there it's on throttle, 0 throttle to land. And it just, that's probably the biggest problem I have. It doesn't want to come down. Even at 0 throttle. That's 0 throttle. Let's just turn it off. Oh! So it is durable, I'll give it that. It just can't handle this wind. It's just simply too windy for it today. I like it though.